All right, good evening. This is the Board of Education, District 64, special board meeting tonight on August 27, 2015. Vicki, can you take the roll, please?
Certainly. Tom Sotos?
Here.
Dathan Paterno?
Here.
Scott Zimmerman?
Here.
Tony Borelli?
Here.
Vicki Lee is here. Bob Johnson?
Here.
And Mark Algeman.
Who will be here late. We're here tonight to have a short closed session, if the board desires, and we will come out of closed session and take action on a settlement agreement with a tenured teacher and a notice of remedial warning. We will also very carefully, or not quickly rather, go through some policy revisions and review, and we will continue this meeting at a later date. So now let me rephrase that. We will adjourn this meeting and we will reconvene on a later date. So tonight we're going to go into closed session to speak on the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. And this has to do with the residency and termination issue, which we will be discussing a settlement. According to 5 Illinois compiled statutes 122C1. I'll need a second, please.
Second.
And we'll need an oral roll. So Mark is here, and Mark, you're present? Present?
Yes.
Yes.
Present.
Okay. And would you please vote?
No.
Yes.
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 Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, let's go into close to discuss this issue. We're back to our open meeting. We have been in closed session discussing 5 Illinois compiled statute 122C1, which consisted of the settlement agreement and a resolution of a issuance of a notice of remedial warning. As we all have open meetings, we have to take by law public comments. If there's anybody here who'd like to make a comment regarding an item not on the agenda, they can please step forward. Not seeing anybody, we will move right along to the approval of settlement agreement with the tenured teacher. Dr. Hines?
We have spent the last several months working with our attorney and a staff member and their attorney to bring to a positive conclusion a residency matter that was brought before the board earlier this summer. And tonight we are going to move forward with the approval of a settlement agreement and the authorization and the resolution of notice of remedial warning to this tenured teacher.
That will resolve the issue. The first action item will actually be on the settlement agreement by itself. So do I have a motion regarding this? First of all, are there any questions by the board on this?
And you have copies at the table that were the motion language that was provided. It was also uploaded to the wiki, but I didn't know if you had time to check it, so I have copies as well.
No comments? Can I hear a motion?
I move that the Board of Education of Community Consolidated School District 64, Park Ridge-Niles, Illinois, approve this formal settlement agreement with Kate Del Pasqua and Victor Della Pasqua regarding the resolution of both a student residency dispute and employee discipline matter.
Is there a second?
Second.
Scott Zimmerman, second. Why don't we start with Mark?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next action item on the agenda happens to be the next agenda item. That's the approval of resolution authorizing the issuance of the notice of remedial warning to the tenured teacher. Are there any board questions, concerns, or comments on this item? Not seeing any or hearing any, I'll need a motion.
I move that the Board of Education of Community Consolidated School District 64, Park Ridge-Niles, Illinois, approve the formal resolution authorizing issuance of a notice of remedial warning to tenured teacher Kate Della Pasqua.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, starting with Tom.
Aye.
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 Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. The next item is the consent agenda that was added. We have approval of policies.
Here you go.
Where's my sheet of paper that I had a sheet of paper right there. Did you see it?
Oh, I made that notebook on yours as well. Sorry about that.
There we go. Okay, just to go through these real quick. The items that we were going to be passing in the consent agenda were 130, that was a school district organization, school district philosophies. 250, we had a access to district public records, and I had asked that we list the exceptions. Dr. Hines has added in there a reference site that you can go to and see all of the exceptions now. I think that's going to be very helpful. 350, administration personnel other than superintendents. There was some, Dr. Hines and I went back and forth. Press policy actually recommended March. The law states that they have to be notified by April 1st. Policy movement to wording it as April, I felt would have left us in a bind because April could be April 15th, but if by law they have to be notified by April 1st, if it states in policy by March, obviously that's before April 1st and will be well within the law at that point. The use of school facilities, did we ever get an answer to that I never got the email.
7:60, Madeline scanned an email just, so what we did is we just struck it for now.
Okay,
And we will bring it back.
so 820 is removed,
Yeah.
and there was a,
No, 720s, 760s removed.
Oh, student residency is 760. We're going to continue to flesh that out in light of our new re-verification
Yes.
and residency procedures. We're going to flesh that one out. And 725 was the one that was more related to this, or I'm sorry, 825 was what you were thinking about. 820 is good to go as it was written.
820 is good to go, and that has to be the use of school facilities. I remembered something else about political organizations utilizing facilities, and that was going to be held in abeyance, so we're going to be looking at that later.
And that's 825.
And that's 825, and I had specifically spoke to Dr. Hines this afternoon on the 760 issue. So, just to bring everybody up to date on the mad scramble for the consent agenda this afternoon. And thank you, Dr. Hines and your staff, for listening to me going on and on about the policies. So, that being said, are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions regarding the policies, the additions, exceptions, the ones that we dropped off, added on, anything? No? Okay, not hearing any, do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I move that the Board of Education of Community Consolidated School District 64, Park Ridge-Niles, Illinois, approve the consent agenda of August 27th, 2015, which includes the approval of policies from Press Issue 88, May 2015, to include revisions on policies 2:250 and 3:50, policy 6:60 from Press Issue 87, policies 1:30 and 8:20.
Is there a second?
Second.
We all
Dathan.
jumped on that one.
Yeah, Dathan. Starting with Mark.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, and just so everybody knows, I spent a fair amount of time this afternoon going through these policies. Had a very difficult time, in fact, couldn't get access to the policy manual online. Another reason why Dr. Hines is steering us to a new policy provider, and I can't wait. Do we get a date on when that might go live?
Well, you just approved a check on Monday, so within the next couple weeks.
Couple weeks, okay. It's hit or miss at this point in time, so if anybody's accessing it. The next meeting will be September 21st, 6 p.m. at Jefferson, which will be a cow on finance. The next regular meeting will be September 28th at 7 p.m., barring the anticipation of a closed session, which will be held. That meeting, the next regular meeting, will be at Roosevelt. The September 21st meeting, which will be the cow, will be here. The next regular meeting will be at Roosevelt. Okay?
And that's the 28th.
And that's the 28th, 1 week later. Any questions, comments? And if not, thank you all for making the trek today. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Have a good curriculum night.